Hi, I'm Jennifer Jenkins-Boitnott, licensed professional counselor and certified EMDR therapist and approved consultant. And I want to take some time today to explain why EMDR intensives are a really amazing way to do therapy, to do EMDR therapy, and also what it looks like to go through one of my EMDR intensive programs with me. So EMDR in itself is a super powerful modality of providing therapy and promoting healing past trauma and any stressful experiences. And when we can use that super powerful tool in an intensive format, so my intensives are 3-hour long sessions. When we can do EMDR in a 3-hour session versus a 1-hour session, it is like so much more powerful than it is in a 1-hour session, because what it allows us to do is it allows us to really get into whatever the problem is that we're focusing on. It allows us to really dive into it and open it up and just let the brain do its thing, get that momentum, and it just goes and it moves so fast. And so much is released in this, which is a long 3 hours is a long session, but it's really, in terms of time, it's a short period of time. And so much is released and healed and shifted in this 3-hour window that it is way more progress that happens in those 3 hours than it does if we were to do 3 separate 1-hour sessions over the course of a month or longer. And so that is one of the most exciting things to me about working in this intensive format, is that people can come in and where you are at the beginning of those 3 hours and where you are at the end of those 3 hours is like clear as day progress. And most of the time, even if we can't get through everything that we're trying to work through in one 3-hour session, we usually need 2 or 3 or 4 of them. That shift in the progress, you can feel it as you leave my office. And then being able to do a couple of those types of sessions relatively close together in, the span of a week or 2 weeks time, it allows that acceleration of progress to just be, it's like almost indescribable. It's EMDR is such a experiential process, and I feel like the intensive format is also such an experiential process that once you experience the power of shifting so much that has been stuck often for so long, like we're talking, usually the things we're working on have been stuck or causing you problems for years of your life, if not sometimes your whole life. And to be able to shift those things within a matter of hours, within a couple of days or few weeks, is like you're coming into a whole new life afterwards, and you're going to feel that relief in a way that is just so hard to explain. So what does it look like to do an intensive program with me? So in 2022, right now, the way that I'm currently structuring things is we do an intake appointment. And during that intake, we're, checking, gathering background information, talking about what it is you want to focus on. And then, figuring out for me, I'm assessing, does it sound like what you're looking for, what you want to focus on is going to be a good fit for my skill set and also for EMDR and also for the intensive format. And so if all of those things seem like that would be a good match, and if you think it would be a good match for me to work with, for you to work with me, then we move forward with scheduling a 2, 3, or 4 day intensive. So what that means is we're going to say, okay, I think we can work on, and depending on what we talk about in the intake, I can have a pretty good gauge for like how many intensive sessions I think about we might need. Of course, there's no guarantees because we don't know until we get into it, but I have like a general range of, being able to tell like a particular issue that we can work through in 2 days. For example, like if you were in a car accident last week and we're going to meet for an intensive next week, well, if that's what we're working on, because it's something that just happened, we're going to be able to work through that definitely in 2 days, or like almost definitely in 2 days. And versus if it's something that we need to work on that we're going to focus on from something that happened when you were 2 and it's been a trauma that you've been carrying with you for your whole life, we're probably going to need 3 or 4 days to work through all of that, because there's going to be a lot more, the networks in your brain are more solidified, and there's going to be a lot more attached to it than something that just happened. So we kind of get a gauge for how long I think we'll need to work on the thing that you want to work on. And then we'll schedule, those 2, 3, or 4 days. And so if it is a 2-day intensive, then we're going to do that in 2 days during the same week. If it's a 3-day intensive, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to do like a Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And if it's a 4-day, then we're going to space that out over 2 different weeks. So maybe like a Tuesday, Thursday, 1 week, and then a Tuesday, Thursday the next week, or a Monday, Wednesday or something. So we're going to try to get the sessions in as close together as we can, while also still giving your brain some space in between sessions to integrate and continue processing the progress that you're making. And then after we do however many intensive sessions, so each day that we're scheduling being 3 hours, after we do all of those intensive sessions, then a couple weeks later, we're going to do a follow-up appointment, just a 1-hour follow-up. And that way we can check in on, how did everything integrate after the sessions that we did? And is there anything left that now you feel still needs attention? Do we need to schedule some more intensives? Or do you feel like now whatever else is left that you're dealing with, you've made progress, but you want to continue working on some things in therapy. And so you go back to working with your regular therapist. Or if you didn't have a regular therapist, we're finding you a regular therapist to continue working on your goals with. And then you're done. And so my goal with doing the intensives in this format is really to be able to get people in, bring them relief, and get you back onto your life. Because there has been, it's so, over the past couple of years, I've had, working in the traditional weekly session format, 1-hour sessions, it really, I'm working with people for months and months or years to work through a bunch of these things. And I never ever had openings. And so working in a shorter term model is allowing me to help more people, get more people in and get more people out. But also I think it just really gives this accelerated growth and accelerated relief that everyone is seeking and wanting. And I think it's absolutely an amazing and powerful way to work on a piece of your healing journey with you. And as I tell everyone, once you go through EMDR and you notice how much relief it brings to you, and it's like, yes, go back on your way. And I hope nothing else ever traumatizing happens to you. But if it does, call me and we will try to get you in as quickly as possible, because the sooner we do EMDR, the sooner in time we do EMDR after something traumatic happens, the faster it goes. Meaning we work through it much faster and you get relief from it much faster because it's not yet integrated into your long-term memory networks. And so if we can get in and get that relief and get that healed sooner rather than later, it's going to save you so much suffering and so much time in therapy in the future than if it's something that is really old. So all of this, I hope gives you an idea of why I really love the intensive model of providing EMDR therapy, and also what that kind of big picture is like for someone to go through this experience with me. Thank you so much for visiting my website and taking the time to watch this video and learn more about EMDR intensives. If you would like to take the next steps to book an EMDR intensive appointment with me, go ahead and fill out the questions below, and I look forward to hearing from you.